guys. I'm just back fresh from a nice weekend with my parents in the Adirondacks, doing the weekend review and stocks that I'm looking at, and a little bit about my husband's experience of doing his real trades this week as well, and exactly why our training that we have coming up is so important. But let's go ahead and get into the week. So basically Monday, it was Columbus Day. Our daughter was home and spent the day with her, but still rocked a nice $1,000 profit with a CRM swing over the weekend. Also made a couple hundred on ACIA with easy $2 to $5 price movements. Tuesday as well, same thing. It was a nice $1,200 day. Good profits as well on ACIA, just based on the dollar, the price range throughout the day. That stock tends to have good price ranges. Recently, it just had a sell-off by major shareholders, so I'm expecting it actually to drop a bit on Monday and then have a nice bounce as well. The bottom was 87 this week, 86.50, and then it went up to 96.50 on Friday. So it had a nice $10 range within 3 days. So you really can't ask for much more with that. On Wednesday, the best one that I had, my best trade was with IMAX. It was a nice bounce with the RSI Extreme Alert Scanner that I have with Trade Ideas. And they have a nice open house coming up this week, the 17th through the 21st for $8.88. All the links are down below. And that one, I traded it very conservatively. I took just $1 profit and it ended up being, a good $2 to $3 swing bounce off of it. It just recovered very, very nicely. On Friday, my worst trade was probably AAMC. I was looking more for a bounce off of it, but it never really bounced too well. And I was in at 39.72 and out at 35.22. So that was a rough trade, but you always learn from everything, right? My husband this week had a great trade on Monday, made $50, $60. He was rocking. He was really excited. He's like, yes, this is great. Tuesday, he had a down day, maybe $30. No, I'm sorry. I think it was $300 down. And then he was so frustrated because mentally he started to beat himself up. He's like, oh, I did so well paper trading. And now look at this, I'm not sure I can do this. I'm not sure I can be a trader. I said, listen, this is the exact reason why we're doing our training, because you have to have the right mindset. You have to learn. You're just beginning. This is week 1 of your trading with real money. So you've got to figure out the psychological and emotional aspect of it besides just finding those stocks to trade. It's so important to be able to handle your mental capacity as well as finding the stocks with the technical capacity with the right scanners and everything like that. As far as Friday, I had a nice entry for NHTC. It was wonderful. And I left on my road trip and I put in just a sell limit order right at my entry because I wasn't sure how much it was going to bounce. Then with Yellen speaking later in the day, it ended up gaining a good $2. So I left some profit on the table there. Got out with break even, but it was still a nice one. And also probably my best one on Friday was the Twitter RSI Extreme when the news came out that they were not going to be purchased by CRM, and it dropped like a rock. And then I caught it on the RSI scanner and took a nice little profit. I think it was about $1 profit on that one as well off of the bounce. Looking into the future for this week, so we've got MGT that has 21 million in the float, which is going to be a nice small float stock, and that looks good for breakout above 284. We also have PTX that looks good to me above 489. We have REN that is, if it breaks 33.1, it has 9.8 million in the float and 25% short float, so that could have a really nice squeeze capacity to it. As far as reversals, NHTC looks like it'd be pretty good above 24.99. That one does have 6.4 million in the float. We also have INSY, INSY, that just hit 11 as its 52-week low. And we also have INFY, INFY, that hit its 52-week low at 15.48. And right now it just closed at 15.66. So those two are on watch for when they start to curl up and they start to gain momentum. ARIA looks like it's going to be a nice short at the moment. And OMER has been downtrending for about 15 days. So it looks like it's going to have, once it has some positive news to it, it's going to go ahead and reverse up, but it might not be right at this moment. As far as the big trades that I had going on this week, I had a long-term stock OLED that had come down from 72. I'm not really sure why I didn't put in a stop. I was, busy more with the day trading, and I didn't put in a stop at 62, which is where I sold off a part of the position before. But now it looks like it's broken the support of 50, so I sold that long-term position. And I did some scanning of the S&P 500 stocks and found 5 that I liked and entered into 3 of them, as well as adding to NVAX. Actually, I went back into NVAX because I know as a value stock, I'd had it as a long-term investment before, sold it before the drop, thank God. And then went back in, did a little bit of swing trading with it, and now I went back in to NVAX for a long-term swing, as well as SIG, SRCL, and PRGO. And of course, my other long-term swing that I have going on is RJETQ, which is big news. This upcoming Thursday, the 20th of October, is when they should be due to exit from bankruptcy. Well, they're going to court to petition to exit from bankruptcy. So it should be some news on that stock this week, and it should have some activity. All right, guys, as always, Carpe Profit. Seize those profits one at a time to grow your account. That's how it adds up. And that's how you'll see consistency and confidence, and you'll be able to leave that job that you hate. Have a great one, guys. See you soon.